from Gardening at Douentza, and this is just a very quick clip to show you what I found while repotting this phal of mine. This is Phalanopsis Baldwin's kaleidoscope, my very first orchid, and therefore it's been around for a number of years now. It is actually in spike at the moment, so that's not a good recipe for repotting, but I just felt I needed to do it. And I've removed the any kind of mushy roots, and they've gone in here. And this is what I'm left with. These are the good roots, some of them aerial, which won't be buried, and some of them ones that will be buried. But can you see the rhizome there? Now it extends down to, whoops, trying to point and hold the camera at the same time, to there, okay? So it's a long, long stretch, and that's because I've had this orchid for so long. Now I can see that roots are coming out from the rhizome at various points, but there is a chunk at the very bottom where no roots are coming out from it. So what I'm going to do is just cut that off with a sterilised secateurs. So what I'm doing now is sterilising my secateurs for use in the Phalanopsis. Normally I sterilise using bleach, but for this job I need a really, a good cutter. So it's the secateurs that gets used in the garden. Now what I'm doing is I've just suspended the metal blade in boiling water, and I'll do that, I'll leave it like that for 10 minutes. Now there's a whole debate about what exactly sterilised means. And it reminds me of a conversation I had with a midwife when I was expecting my first child and went to parent craft classes with my husband. And the midwife was talking about sterilising babies' bottles, and that you needed, well, in those days anyways, steam steriliser, or well, there were also tablets that you could use. But my husband piped up at one stage and said, well, I know all about sterilising because I make beer, and as far as beer is concerned, tap water is sterile. Now, the midwife just looked at us for a minute, and then she said, well, I guess there are different degrees of sterile for different purposes. And that's exactly what it comes down to. And I had this conversation when Bumblebee was over. We also discussed what exactly sterile means, and basically it's different levels of sterile for different purposes. And as far as I'm concerned, 10 minutes boiling is going to be what this secateurs gets before it tackles my Phalanopsis. And here we are, the secateurs has now been sterilised, well, as much as it needs be. And I've gone and fetched the plant. Now if the camera woman can come in here, and we can see here, this is the knobbly bit that I'm going to cut off. This one here is the lowest root, so I'm going to cut just underneath that. Now, let me see if I can get a good angle for the camera. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off this bit here. Okay, and maybe a bit more. And here we are, there's the base of the rhizome now, where roots are coming out. So just a little space-saving tip for fitting your phal into a smaller pot than you might have to because of a very long rhizome. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching. Check back again to hopefully see this plant in flower before very long. Thanks for watching. Bye.